Alright, now that we understand what are the color modes, let's talk how we can balance the color and the lighting in our image, or let's say the professional way, how we can use the image adjustment. Let's open an image. Okay, so what we're gonna talk about now is in this part. I want to go to the I want to go to the image and go to the adjustment place. Okay, we're gonna talk about this. So basically all the color and the light adjustment that you have, they are here. These four at the top, they are the best tools to control the lighting in your image. These are good for color adjustment, and the rest of them, they are kind of mixing the color and the lighting. Okay, actually using these, they are not much hard, because anytime that you open and you move something, you can see that your main images start changing, so you can easily find out what option what they do. But I'm gonna tell you about the important and the basic things here. Okay, so first we start with brightness and the contrast. So brightness, you know what brightness means, like make something light or dark. Okay, but what is contrast itself? Well, if you want to say contrast in the very simple way, it's how to show the differences. Okay, if something has contrast, you can see it's like the color become stronger. You can see it's more defined between the background and the skin, the hair. Each of them, they become separated. And if you have less contrast, the image is going to become more pale. You can see the differences. It's not much, the color is blend together better. So basically with these two options, we can change the contrast and the brightness. Okay, but actually in other adjustment that we have, we're gonna use the same things again, the brightness and the contrast, but in a different way. One of the important things that we have is the level. Okay, or Control L. We can it has the shortcut. Actually, if you go in front of each of them, you can see the shortcut is written. And these that they have the shortcut, they are the most important and the most useful tools that you have in your adjustment. Okay, let's talk about levels. So in the levels, what you can do is actually you gonna change the brightness or the darkness, but not the entire image. Okay, like what we did here, if we just use the brightness, you see when I make everything bright, everything come bright together. The highlights, the midtones and my shadows, everything together become brighter. Okay, but when I use the levels, I can choose which of these color I'm gonna adjust. Okay, so I have shadows, midtone and the highlights. Okay, so if I, for example, move the shadow, basically I make the shadows darker. You see, yes, the entire image will get dark, but the shadow areas like here, 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 they get darker faster. Okay, and also here, if the highlight, I move it to the left, you see entire image is getting bright, but these highlights areas are getting brighter faster than the rest of the points that I have in the image. And this one is basically the midtones. I can make the midtones darker or I can make them brighter. So if you want to light up the image or change it like that, you can always choose. For example, I make the shadows a bit darker and I add some highlight on the image, then maybe I make it brighter a bit on the midtones. Okay, so that's it, simple. You just need to play with them and see the result, if you like it or you don't like it, or is it look realistic or no. Okay, and whenever you make adjustment and you don't like this adjustment, if you want to restart it, you don't need to actually close or cancel this. you just hold your left alt. If you hold the left alt, this cancel will change to reset. So just you click here, it back to normal what it was. So you can also have some preset here. For example, increase contrast, make it lighter. You know, you actually make your adjustment. You can make your adjustment, then you just save it here. Okay, so you can use it. For example, you have the same image of this same girl, and all the pictures, they have the similar color. So what you're gonna do, you just save your presets, then you save your, you do something here, then you simply save it here. Okay, here, save preset. Okay, for example, if I make this like something like that, then I just save it, then it will go here to my preset. Then when I open my next image, what I'm gonna do, I just go to my control level, then I go here, then I select on that preset that I made, and that image also will have automatically the same result, same effect here. And what is this RGB? So as I said, the color of the monitors are RGB. So basically when I'm moving these, actually I am giving the computer this command to change light of all the entire color that I have. But I can also do this separately. For example, if I choose here only the color red, now all the adjustment that I do on the lighting is affect only on the red color or the colors that they have red inside it. For example, now if I make it darker, you see, it's not the entire image affecting, only this part. The skin was has the kind of red color, the background is brown, and the hair, they have the red color. It happens to them, but it doesn't much have effect on the crown, and that it's the white or the veil here, if that there is white, it doesn't much have effect there. Okay, if I use the blue, right now any adjustment that I do is affected on my blue color. Okay, so maybe you say, why I choose the blue, but when I darken it, it's become kind of yellow. Okay, so here the answer. You should always remember these rules in the computer or in the Photoshop. Okay, so these color are against each other. So the cyan is against the red, magenta is against the green, and yellow is against the blue. So basically, when we want to make something blue, we are reducing yellow color on it. When we want to make something yellow, we are reducing the blue tone on it. Okay, so this color always work against each other. So here, when I go to my level and I, for example, I choose green. Okay, so what is against the green is magenta. Okay, so when I start to make it like the darken it, because I'm giving effect to my green, and as I say, green is against the magenta. So when I give it effect on my green, basically it's gonna add magenta in my image. That's how it works. See, if I do it like that, I just increase the green tone in the entire image. But if I do it like that, basically I want to decrease the green tone in my image, which will end by having magenta in my image. Okay, you will remember, it's actually soon we're gonna move to this part. Actually, this is just a screenshot of one of the options here in the Photoshop, so you're gonna have that one. So the next adjustment that we have is curves. Okay, so if you search about these curves, there are lots of things that they talk about it over the internet. They actually make it a bit complicated. So let's just have it in a very simple way. What I have here is my dark pixels and the bright pixels. Okay, so basically I can choose, for example, here in this image, I want to darken my dark pixels. So what I'm gonna do, I'm just click anywhere on this line here. As you see here, it's dark. You have this guide here. Okay, and here is getting lighter. So that means if I click somewhere here, that means I'm actually having effect on my dark pixel. So I bring it down. Now you can see my dark areas become darker, okay? But as you see, if I do it something like that, it's this line, the main line, is the original line that I have, okay? So when I give effect to my dark tone, as you see, also my bright pixels get affected. So what I'm gonna do, I just create another point here, and I try to bring this point back to where it was, and do it like this. So right now, if you see, if I compare, my dark tone become darker without affecting on my bright pixels. Okay. Now we can also do the same thing. I want to like lighter my bright pixels. Okay, so I click here. This time I go up. So the more you go up, it makes it brighter. The more you go down, it makes it darker. So I bring it up. You know, all the image gets bright, but I want now the dark area goes back to what it was. So I just create another point here. I move it down and I bring it back. Now you can see the dark areas like these hairs, these shadows here, they are not changing much. They're actually almost the same, but my bright areas become brighter. So that's how you can control the color in your, the lighting, not the color, sorry, the lighting of the photo. So if you take a picture and the picture is so dull, it's so dark, the colors are not right, that's how you're gonna do it. And about the exposure. What is exposure actually? If you look at this image, when you see these areas, and here, this highlights, which basically we call them exposure. So if you give more exposure, basically you're giving more highlights on the image, you see? And if you do it like that, you reduce the lighting and the highlights on the image. Sometimes you see you take picture, especially with the flashlight. If it's close to the person face, something like that will happen. The image, actually they call it, is overexposure. You can easily come here and use your options here to fix the color and the lighting of your image. Okay, so basically these three were just working with lighting. So it's easy to work with them because each of them that you're choosing, you can easily see the difference here. If you you have this preview. If you check this, if this is unchecked, you cannot see your changes. But if this preview is checked, you can see the changes that happening. And all of them have this same one. All of these options have this preview. So actually, you can see what are you doing. Okay. So the next one that I want to talk about is we go to this one, color balance. So here, that's the same chart that I told you guys. Right now, if you want to change the color, okay, I'm not going to do anything with the lighting. I just want to change the lighting of my entire image. So here I can choose if I'm going to change the color of my midtones, of my shadows, or my highlights. The same things that we have here in our control level that I said, shadows, midtone, and the highlights. Now we also have them here in our color balance. Okay, so it's simple. If I add red, the image become red. If I add magenta, they become magenta. If I add yellow, the image become yellow. Okay, so with this you can also try to, if you are doing the photo editing stuff, with these options you can correct the color of the image. Sometimes you take a picture, it's become so purple, it's become blue, it's become yellow, it's not the natural tone. So you can just easily use this color balance here, play with it, and find the color that you want. See, nothing hard about it. It just takes experience and to know that when you work with the document, especially when you do the photo editing, it's just your experience that when you see the image, you just realize, okay, I need to go like reduce the yellow tone on the image, then I give some magenta, then the color will be okay. That's it. There is no rules that we just want to discuss about it. It's just how you're gonna work with the different pictures. Try to download several pictures over the internet and try to fix their colors. Fix the colors and see how it's gonna be work. For example, here we can see that was the first image. This is the image that is taken by the camera. You know, the colors are not good. Then after doing some work with the color balance and the other adjustment, you can have the natural colors come back into the image. So that's it. You just need to play with them. The other one we want to talk about it is this one, hue and saturation. Okay. Let me open another file so you can actually see the things better. Okay, this is perfect one. So, what is hue and saturation? Okay. So basically, this hue, when I change this, I'm gonna exchange the colors here. You see, I have two lines here. This line at the top, this is the original colors. Okay, this is the original the gradient of the color. Okay, like cyan, I have blue, I have magenta, I have red, I have green. Okay, when I start changing this, as you can see at the bottom, it's gonna be changed. For example, if I put it here, and you can see the colors here are keep changing. All the colors here are keep changing. Okay, so what will happen? For example, if I put my hue here, actually, if you now look here, it said the original cyan color changed to yellow. The original blue colors changed to green. The magenta color changed to cyan. The red color changed to blue. The yellow color changed to magenta. The green color changed to red. Okay, so that's actually what happened. This was my original color. For example, let's just focus here on this yellow. Okay, let's see if I do it like that one. The yellow is changing to orange now. Okay, just keep look here. This is the yellow. This is the orange one. Now, if I keep moving this to the left side, this orange will change also to the red, and finally it will change to the purple. Let's see. See, it changed to the red. Now it changed to the purple. If I keep doing it, it will change to the blue. Okay, because you can easily see here. So this is what hue does. You can actually change the entire colors. You replace the entire colors here. What's the effect if you do it on a real photo? Let's see the effect. You know, I'm sure you see lots of designs that they have that kind of effect or the colors on that one. So that's it. That's what the hue does. Okay. And now we have something here. It's called saturation. The saturation is actually tell us the density of the color. If I move this to the right side, I will make the image more saturated. Let's see what happens. The colors get stronger and stronger and stronger. That's too much strong that it's even hurting the eyes. Okay. Now, if I do the other side, I bring it to the left side. The image start losing the color. Everything get pale and pale and pale, and at the end, it will totally become black and white. So, one of the way that you can make something black and white, any pictures or any image that you have, like even here, if you want to make this black and white, you simply move the saturation to the end. See, everything gets to the black and white. So here also, if you make the saturation to the left side, it's become black and white. Of course, you can play with that, like make a color like this. Then I go to my color balance. I give a little red and some yellow on the image. Okay, see the color effect. Actually, that's what they call sepia in the photo editing. You can see lots of this kind of color. It's like the old style, the old photograph, the first generation of the photograph. It was the color like that one. So you can easily make such effect. It's just using the hue saturation, and after that the color balance. Okay, so you also have there is an option here. It's a desaturate. As you see, the saturation, the hue and the saturation menu shortcut is Control and U. So if you put Shift, Control and U, what will happen? It's automatically become black and white. So if you want to make something black and white, you have two options. First, Control U, then you do it manually, or Shift Control U, and it's totally become black and white. But in the Shift Control U, the desaturate options, you cannot change, like make this effect. Like I just make it little black and white, not totally losing the colors. Okay, if you click that one, the image will totally become black and white. Okay, and you have also other options here. Just go and play with them, and so you can see I give you the most important one. They are the one that they're using. You can also do the thing, for example, like this photo filter. It's simple. You have some different photo filter here, for example, the violet. You can see the image become a bit violet, and you can also change the density of the photo filter. Okay, they are different. Actually, you can do all of these things also with just doing the control, the color balance and the level adjustment, Control B and Control L. You can also do all of these things. So that's why actually I just told you guys the important one, because you can do the rest of these things just by using this important one. Okay, now that we find out how we gonna do adjustment. So here the question, for example, I make my image like this, then I give some color like this one. Okay, then for example, I also have some lighting adjustment. Okay, so everything is in my history. What if I want to remove this saturation that I did? I mean, this part that I make the image desaturate, I make it a bit pale. I want to remove that part. What should I do? Okay, maybe you say, so it's simple. Just go to your history, use your history brush, and try to recover the part. But the problem is the rest of my works will also be gone. I don't want to remove my color balance or my levels. So what can I do now? Okay, or just imagine I have a file with different layers. Okay. I will open one of my work here that I did. Sorry, the file is a bit large. Okay, for example here, if I go there, I have lots of layers. Let me open the groups. We talk about how to make groups another time, don't worry about it. So they are my layer that I have. So if I want to give effect on my image, okay, if I want to like give this same effect here on this image, what am I gonna do? Am I gonna use each of these layers and try to give them one by one the color balance, desaturating or other things? Of course, it's gonna be lots of time that I'm gonna spend to do that one by one for them. So what we're gonna do, there is a better way to do all of these adjustment. Okay, so basically we're gonna use the same adjustment but in the different way. What we're gonna do, you can click here in the layer. Okay, then just find this one, new adjustment layer. Now you can see they are exactly the same menu that you have here in the adjustment. Okay, the difference here is when you use the new adjustment. For example, I make an hue and the saturation. Okay, you can see something pop up. What I want to put my name. Okay, let the name be the same to hue and saturation. Then okay, now you can see it create a layer here. Now if I do my saturation here, I give my saturation here, okay, and I put it here at the top. Okay, now everything under this layer get the effect. They become saturated. For example, if I want this dog not to have this effect, I simply move it top of that layer, adjustment layer. You see the dog is not saturated anymore. Let's make it black and white so it's be more obvious. Okay, so you can see the dog is still in the color, but the rest of the image is black and white. If I move the dog down under this also get black and white. Okay, now let's create another adjustment layer. Now I go to the color balance. Okay, now I give this sepia color. You see here is my color balance, and I can go again to the adjustment layer, adjustment layer, and levels, and I finally give this one. That's it. So I just make this adjustment one time, so the entire layers that they are under this get the same effect. Okay, for example, if I move one of this, for example this group at the top, let's see what will happen. See, the guy is now also, the guy is not in the black and white anymore because I move it up. So that's it. You can actually create it with the layer. And the good thing is when you do it with the layer, if you want to remove any of these effect, for example, as I said here, if I want to remove this desaturate that I made, I cannot do it anymore, because if I want to even use my history brush, I will destroy my color balance and my level. But here it's easy. Okay, if you don't want that hue and the saturation, you just simply go there, click here in this eye, and it will be hidden. When it get high, the rest of the color balance and the light balance that I did, they are still there. It's still, if you don't want, you just remove the color balance. If you don't want, you just remove your level adjustment that you did. And the other good thing is, if you click on the here in this icon on any of them, you can go and change your data that you gave to them. Like, hey, I want to make it less saturated now. It was very saturated. Now I want to make it more saturated. Or the color, I can still change the color here. But here, I don't have this option, because when I do that adjustment here, it's done. I cannot go back and change the things anymore on them. So the suggestion is for you guys is, whenever you want to make adjustment, use this option on the new adjustment layer. Okay, even if it's a single image like this, you want to do that, just use your new adjustment layer, not just adjustment. So you can always go back, you can easily change it, you can hide it. And also there is another way. Actually, it's a shortcut. We're gonna do the same thing, but it's a shortcut. Here, let me first, I go back to my history. Okay, here this icon is like the fourth from the right side. Actually, it's the middle one, because here are also four, and then the fourth from the left and right both. So you click here, you can see this menu will be open. This is exactly other things that we had here in our adjustments. Okay, all of these are also written here. So you just go there, you click something, for example hue and saturation. I make it saturate like this, and I close it here. It made as a layer. Okay, so I go there and again, I go to the color balance, give this color to it, and then I go here again, sorry, and I go to levels this time, and I give this effect. See, this is exactly the same thing that we did a while ago using just the adjustment, but this time I can easily remove any of these adjustments. I can go there and change my colors. Yeah, for example, I make it like this. See, simple. So that's how you can use the color adjustment to make difference on your lighting and on your colors.